Radio.net, the voice of Chester. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye. Welcome to my Monday segment here in beautiful Chester. I know that I had made a post a little bit earlier, like about 15 minutes ago, letting you know that I had a very special guest coming onto my show, Mr. Dell-P. Mr. Dell-P has been a part of my Juneteenth programs as a performer. He has done some really great things musically and lyrically, but unfortunately, he is unable to attend tonight's segment, and we're going to have to reschedule. I was really looking forward to it. Some real segment lead-ins that I was going to do with his brand new album, Transition of Power, and talk about his rise from Philly and, just being that international person that he is now through various podcast shows, etc. So, Dell-P, don't work too hard today, bro. Tonight, make sure you get that money, and I'll check you out on another flip side. So, we still have a segment to run here. We still have a show to do. We still have producers that got to produce. We still got to make sure that we are talking to our folks here in Chester and all the way down to Upper Darby and every space in between. So, seeing as though that I couldn't do my regular segment that I had already had scheduled, we're just going to jump into some of the things that we've been seeing today in Chester, in Delaware County, and all around. Let's start with talking about today's heat advisory. I really hope that our seniors were taken care of by folks, that they stayed hydrated, that our young people weren't out there in them damn hoodies and them skis burning the hell up. I hope that the parents had enough sense to clock your kid and have them, not go outside with those skis and hoodies because it was John Blaze outside. You could hardly breathe. I want to shout out to each and every person, first responders, police officers, firemen, EMTs, for keeping us safe, to our sanitation workers, to the people who are absolutely out there daily that we don't pay attention to, that we take for granted. Thank you. And that's all through Delco. That's every one of you through Delco. Police, fire, sanitation, people who work the streets, people who, run those jackhammers. We appreciate you, especially the work that you do. You truck drivers, we appreciate you. Now, with that being said, Delaware County Council. I want to say something and just want to make this as a suggestion, please. You have many partners all across Delco, and we get these weather alerts. We know these weather alerts. And Delaware County Council, I read almanacs. You know that from the times that I've done my Juneteenth programs, that I've never had a rainout, that I've never had a COVID scare, that I've never had any type of element come into any of the events that I've thrown, because I prepare. We do appreciate the fact that you are reaching out to partners. Can you please, 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 in the future, give us more time to put things together? We know the temperature. We know it's going to be hot. We understand what to do. We do this. This is what we do. We don't need any training. We don't need any supervision. But we need a better heads up, respectfully. We want to do the work. We do. I'm not complaining. This is feedback. In order to take care of the people at the ground level, and when you reach out to your community partners, this is what we're asking you for. Give us more than just an hour's worth of a heads up. We need more than an hour. Okay? Now, the Upper Darby American Legion, of which I am a member of, will be participating in the Code Reds for tomorrow from 12 to 6 p.m. and Wednesday from 12 to 6 p.m. So if you're in the Upper Darby area, if you just happen to be coming through, you know anybody that's in that area that doesn't have air conditioning, has a box fan in their window, something, check on your family members. If they want to come and enjoy our air conditioning, we have waters that won't be cold. We have snacks there if you like. We got a bread. We got a, just had our cable taken care of. So we got our TVs going and everything like that for entertainment. We have books. We have puzzles. We have board games. And more importantly, we're going to lay out some cots for those that just want to come in and take a nap. Why not? It's too hot out there to be moving around. Just remember, we are an American Legion. Please respect our building. We don't tolerate any foolishness. Respect our house like we will respect yours. Appreciate that. All right. Let's talk about something that's close to Chester that happened yesterday and over this weekend and over the past couple of weeks. Let's talk about this flooding, because there's been a lot of posts. It's been a lot of comments. It's been a lot of suggestions. Been a lot of accusations. Been a lot of people knowing some information. A lot of people not knowing information. Some information being blown out of proportion. We have watched nationwide consistent flooding all across the country. All across the country. We've seen it in North Carolina. We've seen it in Texas. We've seen stuff in Florida, even with wildfires. We've seen stuff in Oklahoma. We've seen stuff, just all over the place. Climate change, call it what you will. Call it the storm cloud feeding, call it what you will. Call it what you will. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Like I said, I am not an expert, but I am an observer. There's such a thing called being proactive. And this is the second thing. Again, governments, I'm not coming at you. But I don't understand if you have a stormwater association company, where is your plan? And I think that that's a fair question that Chester residents should be asking, because they are in the dark. They don't know who does this. They don't know who does that. And we would have never known about who does what or who got paid had it not been for the court action to dissolve the board of the Stormwater Authority Association, whatever you want to call it. You would have never known it. You're getting that extra $66 that you're being taken out of your water bill for what? It was to pay salaries. We all know this. I don't care who's come on this station, cmpradio.net, Voice of Chester. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they try to spin it. Because in Ashton, they're being charged double. They're being charged double because of logistics, because of boundaries, whatever. So somebody's robbing somebody. Now, again, my opinion. But somebody's robbing somebody. Because in my experience, and the things that I've been through personally, professionally, it's too many moving parts for it not to be transparent. Especially when you can't account for this, or you can't account for this, you can't account for this, but you can account for this, how the money comes in, but not how it's spent. But I can tell you how it's spent. They have not done a thorough inspection of the sewers. That's why you saw the sewer plates. That's why you saw the manhole covers being juggled when it was flooding. Just like it says in the Word of God, the waters came from up under the deep. That wasn't rainwater that flooded you. Because if you look how dirty it was, and if you go back down there right now and look how dirty it was, that's all sewer. That's all waste. How? Because Upper Darby used to flood just like that too, champ. That's the experience. Upper Darby used to flood just like that too. So when I saw the videos, when I looked at the videos, when I listened to the commentary, and when I saw that manhole cover, juggling like it was, it's obvious. Folks, we're in an age of accountability. We're in an age of truth. And I understand people's feelings when it comes to people who are your leaders, when it comes to certain situations on how you want to be governed and all that other crap. But where's the accountability to your everyday life of what you've been putting into this infrastructure, and you're not getting the satisfactory answers that you're looking for, especially when they come on this forum? Like, I asked the question of councilperson Fred Green. Hey, Fred. One thing I'm going to just say to this, because I'm real true to this too, Fred. If I ask a question, I already know the answer. I promise you. I'm not going to play no games. I want to talk about these administrative fees that these solicitors and all these other people, when you guys get grants, why are they charging additional money for work that they have to perform anyway? Do you guys get paid additional money for the job that you've been hired for? So let's put it like this. So when the mayor, council, and the people who work for you, when they get elected, they hire people. They give them a salary, then they give them a job designation, and then in that job designation is specifically, hey, you're in charge of grants. You're in charge of finding out where we can get grants, da, 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 da. Now you get the grant. Let's say it's for $150,000. So $100,000 goes to the actual work, but hypothetically, let's say $50,000 goes for administrative fees. What's that? To print the paperwork that you already got to print? To have the phone conversations you already are supposed to have? That's what I'm talking about with administrative fees attached to these grant programs, folks. And I want to say this very plainly. If you're not getting answers from the people that you gave a job, because that's what it is. They say we work, I work hard. We work hard. We work hard. Okay. Don't you have a review from your boss? Doesn't your regional manager come into your place of employment and have inspections and make sure that your bosses are doing their job? Don't they sit down with you from time to time and say, tell me about the environment, how's things here, blah, blah, blah? Well, with your elected officials, guess whose job that is? The people who you elect are not going to educate you about what they do. That's not what they are elected to do. That's not their job. That's not in their job description. That's not in their job description. They're supposed to provide you with services. They're supposed to make sure that your community is safe. They're supposed to hear your concerns and work to make sure that everybody's on the same table together to get things done that are needed and necessary for the benefit of its citizens. Show me an example of where that's being done to your satisfaction. And I'm going to tell you why it's not. Because you don't go to those damn meetings. Just like Fred said, you got to go to the meetings. And I'm going to tell you why. When they say you got to go to the meetings, you represent you. Not Fred. Not the mayor. The mayor represents for all of Chester. He's the figurehead. Fred represents for his district and his people. And I know he's a good dude. He'll extend himself to everybody. I'm not knocking him. But it's not his job to do the research, bring it to you, educate you on it, and then see that you do it. That's not his job. That is not the job of any politician. It's your job to know their job, to know what they're doing. If you're not going to the meetings, you should be watching them on YouTube. But I don't understand that. In this day and age of technology, where so many people have told me, Rich, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't. My phone rings like crazy. I get messages every day from people who seek the knowledge that I went and got from where I lived about the people who rule us, about the policies that we're under. I do make sure that every year the state of Pennsylvania puts out new laws that affect our youth. These new laws every year affect our youth. And by the time our youth find out about these new laws, guess what? They in handcuffs. Or they're shot. It is not the politician's job to educate you. It is not the preacher's job to educate you. All of y'all looking for heroes. You got to be your own hero. I'm my own hero. I'm my own hero. And I don't say that in a vain way. I just understand that while I do have help and support, I know nobody's coming to save me. I understand that there are things that I still have to do in my age, in my life, and still run a race. And sometimes that's dealing with folks who are supposed to be committed to your well-being in the community. But from what I hear from a lot of folks all the time, I don't get any straight answers. Chester, last election, 2,000 people voted. What y'all waiting for, the next Obama? Because that's bad. It's bad. I'm serious. And I'm going to tell you why it's bad. Because I'm going to start with these judges. A lot of you are in court all the time. And you in front of a judge that you probably pressed a straight button for. And they booking your family. Tell me I'm lying. Please tell me why, when we are the most incarcerated people in any major city, that we are not putting judges on these benches that understand community justice. For the past 4 years, we've had a revolving door of criminals, killers, out of George W. Hill, out of Philadelphia prisons, out of Jersey prisons. And let me tell you who let them out. The judges. You have to know who you're voting for. You can no longer use the lazy excuse of, I'm just going to vote straight Democrat because you're an idiot. And I got to say it like that. How are you going to vote straight and you don't even know who that person is? What are they about? How are they helping you? These are the things when you get on these podcasts and have these questions and want to ask and everything, I'm going to give it to you raw. It's your fault. Fred was brave to come in here. I wish he was in here and we could have done it together because that would have been a dynamite segment between him and I. I would love to have any politician sit with me on a podcast. I would love it. You know why? I'm not a politician. I'm not. I'm a person with a lot of common sense, that has a lot of experience, that has observed patterns, behaviors, and I've been trained to do things a certain way when it comes to people, especially those who have been elected, because I understand their world. Yes, I do. I understand all the phrases and clauses, everything that they talk about, and you're like, what that means? I know exactly what it means when I read it. I was trained to be this way. So this is why I give it to you folks. I'm not giving it to you because I'm pontificating about how great I am. I'm a regular, normal guy that puts his pants leg on one at a time. Well, you know what I hate? I hate corruption. I hate the fact that my people don't know the truth. I hate the fact that my people hang on to these pipe dreams about these people that give you so many false promises about what they're going to do. And then you're sitting up here holding bags of nothing. I'm sorry, bags of hate. Because all I see on social media is hate, 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 hate. Blame Trump, blame Biden, blame, hate, hate, blame, hate, 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 hate. Where's your love? God has said you cannot enter heaven if you hate your brother. It's in his word. It's in the Quran. Where's this hate coming from? People are twisting your minds because you refuse to go and get the facts for yourself. I can tell you right now, yes, I'm from Upper Darby, but cmpradio.net has been my second home from 5-6 years ago. My brother JP is my brother. And when he needs help, I'm here. I'm here for it. But I have to say this. The reason why we're not getting the information that we're getting is because we're not sharing the information. We're not having conducive conversations for understanding. We're only responding to get our thought off or get this off, or I'm going to show him, I'm going to show her, I'm going to show you how smart you are. Those days are over. We're in a year of accountability, folks, if you noticed it or not. And the year of accountability is actually going to be 2026 too. We're not even going to get off of that, just like we're not going to get off of Men's Mental Health Mondays. Oh, yeah, if you want to hide something from a fool, put it in a book. Absolutely, bro, listen. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how true that statement is. You can go rob somebody's house and rip up all their stuff and look for their stuff and go through the drawers or whatever. But that person can hide their money in a book. And after you get done, whatever material stuff you messed up or took with you, you ain't going to get them, because you know why? Because thieves are stupid. They're not going to touch the book. So is that how we're leaving our lives, as thieves? Because we're not feeding ourselves or feeding our children the real knowledge that we need to give them, other than what's inside of this electronic device? I'm very serious. I think for every hour of screen time, you should have an hour of leaf time, of turning pages. Memory retention in children starts with you reading them a story. Their eyes light up when you're reading the words and your fingers going across the page, because why? They want to do it too. These are factual studies, by the way. It's not something I'm saying. You can look it up. I remember my mother reading me bedtime stories. Absolutely, she did. And then I remember buying the whole Cat in the Hat series for my children and reading it to them. And my daughters have done the same thing with their children. Now, I'm not preaching at you again, folks, but you guys want some very simple answers to your questions. You want your child to be able to understand something better? Sit their asses down and make them read a book. You sit right there with them too. Now, I understand that there's difficulties in reading because here in Delaware County, over 40% of our children under the 3rd and 4th grade level can't read on that level. You know what works? A comic book. Yes, it does. You know why? These writers of comic books are college grads. Some of them have English lit degrees and all that other type stuff, you know? And the way that they write and their flow and their prose and everything like that is not just wham, bam, boom, blah, blah, blah. We have to ensure that our future generations aren't lost when they bring back cursive writing. Yes, cursive writing is coming back into schools. That means you have to sit down with your child and practice penmanship. Do you know that how you write your name actually tells what type of personality that you have, the way you sign it? You know, people who sign their name with the big loops in their name and the flowery whatever, that's vanity. That's not just that they write big. The big hoops in their R's or their O's or anything that loops is all about vanity. It's what they think of themselves when they write their name. People who write their stuff in small print or sign their name in small print don't want to be recognized. They just want to stay incognito, and you know they don't want to make any waves. All that study. But again, the only way that we're going to understand how to live with our government and the things that they do is that you have to educate yourself on what they do, what the terms mean, how this means. And guys, ladies, gents, I don't have a problem with people contacting me and talking about these things because, again, I'm not the expert. I am not the expert. But I am somebody who is observant. I am somebody who understands how to research and someone who does know how to vet information. And I am somebody that can give it to you in a basic form that's acceptable to what you want to hear or what you want to learn. But it's always going to be the truth. But let's get back to this flooding, guys. Let's get back to this flooding. Why is it still dirty down there? Why hasn't the community come down there and help clean up? Anybody? Nobody? Somebody? People get paid to do that? But it's your block. It's in front of your house. Yes, our children are looking for how it works through us. And brother, can I say something? I'm going to be very honest with you. What I did for my children was I gave them the answers. I didn't let my children struggle. I made my children competitive. If you meet my daughters, if you meet my sons, they're a little bit more low key than I am. Promise you that. Very low key. But each and every one of them has a competitive edge. because I gave them the answers to life. I didn't let them figure it out. I didn't say, well, experience is the best teacher. That's the worst. That's the worst saying I've ever heard in my life. Experience is the best teacher. Why do our children have to suffer misery and pain when nobody else in any other cultures let their children suffer misery and pain? Why do we do that? Why do we turn off our emotions to our own children and their suffering and what they're trying to get to? But then we have people from other countries who we just welcome all in and have this sense of, oh, I feel so bad about your situation. Get the hell out of here. Now, I'm not talking about folks who have immigrated here and done the process to be here. We need to make sure that when we're talking about this, I'm talking about the people who have not made a commitment or added anything to the prosperity of all of us as a collective. You see all these houses suddenly popping open, and you see all of these people that used to be walking the street last summer. You see they gone? Don't be upset about that. I'm going to tell you why. They had grant money for those houses, not you. They had grant money from the federal government, not you. While you were suffering through COVID, they was living large, putting their stuff together. They have no respect for you. Listen, I'm telling you the truth. Try it. Go walk up to any one of them. Hey, how you doing? Watch how they look at you like you trash. Now, I'm not against them, but I'm going to speak the truth because this is what we're facing every day. This is what we're facing every day. So those houses that are empty now is because the money got cut off. But this is the messed up part. In anticipation of all of this federal money coming in from a bad immigration policy, somebody somewhere in Delaware County decided to assess your properties for more than it was worth. So now you have all these houses that ain't worth what the town or the county says it is, and you can't sell it. Where you gonna go? Oh yeah, hey bro, listen, I'm looking at I'm gonna come back to some of your comments, bro. I really do enjoy talking with you too, good brother. Like bro, listen, I see your comments. We gonna rap a taste. We really are gonna talk about some stuff on a one-on-one, bro, so that way I like how this is going. But again, here we are. Your grandparents, your parents made an investment in Chester by buying property here. And the people that you put in the office decided that they were going to raise their taxes and move you out of Chester because you can't afford to live. It's the same thing in Upper Darby. It's the same thing in Brookhaven. It's the same thing in Swarthmore. It's the same thing in Alden. It's all over. People are trying to get out of their houses because even though that we got 23% in a tax raise, you're getting another 3 to 6% next year, along with whatever your city, municipality, borough, or township is going to put on you too. And you know why they do these taxes? Because you don't go to the meetings. Why would any politician on any dais in Delaware County, why don't they advocate for you? Every meeting for the past month, in several areas, especially Chester, because I watch Chester meetings. I watch them ever since I got kicked out. Ever since I got kicked out. I said, let me keep an eye on Chester. You kicked me out of a meeting. Haven't been back yet. But you kicked me out. So I decided to follow you and be a friend of Chester because I love it. I do. Shout out to Chester and the residents of Chester. You know what I mean? I know people say a lot of bad things about you. Fuck them. I love you. I'm not from here, but I'll talk. I'll speak. I know Chester's got his bad parts. I've seen it too. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I've also seen the love. I've also seen the support. I see Chester, y'all about to have a big old party here. Kiki Wyatt coming. Singing sensation, Grammy Award winning, nominated, film star. Y'all about to have a big party. Shout out to whoever listened about me talking about for 5 years how Chester needs to promote all of his local talent. High State Rep Cal Kazim, you know what I'm talking about. I've been talking about Chester's rich art history. Chester's rich music history. I'll put all of that up against anybody in this state. I'm serious. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not blowing smoke. I'll put you up against anybody, and I know that you guys will perform. Because like I said, I'm around you guys a whole heck of a lot. I'm in the fabric. I'm in the scene. I'm up here. If I'm not in Upper Darby or any other points, whatever, if you don't find me in Lansdowne, if you don't see me over here, I'm in Chester. I'm talking to people. I'm meeting people. I'm talking to our seniors or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to have these conversations and they want to talk to somebody that has a little bit of knowledge. They're tired of talking to these knuckleheads. They're tired of hearing the same old thing. Yeah. So, you know, and then folks, we're going to get left behind. I'm serious. We're going to get left behind. You guys have to do your due diligence with your elected officials. You cannot depend on them to tell you the truth. Why would the people who are in control of your lives want to educate you past that control? We've heard it from Malcolm X. We've heard it from Martin Luther King. We've heard it from Marcus Garvey. We've heard it. So I'm nobody saying it. But then I see all of these because I was oppressed and, my family's from slavery and, we couldn't get nothing. We couldn't. Jim Crow. I want to know how many of you people are getting spit at or being told to sit in the back of a bus or got to walk through a kitchen and eat out on the porch. I want to know what colleges that you go to where you don't have National Guard walking you into these halls of higher learning. I want to know who's telling you you can't go into any department store USA with your credit card and your money, telling you you can't buy this, you can't buy that, you can't get this. Why are you giving me the excuses? Why are you giving us the excuses? I'm going to tell you why. Because you're scared. You are afraid to deal with the reality of you having to advocate for yourself and your family. You want somebody to do it for you. You want somebody to come and rescue you and save you and put the bottle of milk in your mouth and put the pamper on with the powder. Because you are too afraid to find out from the people who you put into power So you'll just accept anything that they do. Oh, I got a nice tie on, and I look professional, don't I? Well, let me tell you, I can do that crap too. Now, again, folks, I'm very gentle with it. I had to come up with a topic for today's show. And again, it's my love of people that drives me to have this podcast. It's my love for people, for me to know and give them the support and the information against these people who are in these seats who are not representing you well. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. I got a guy in Upper Darby. He just needs to get out of here. That boy David Banto from out of the 6th district of Upper Darby Township, he can kick rocks. He can skip to my loo. That boy don't care about nobody black. And he ain't white. And he ain't a black American either. I understand, folks. Some of you have those hearts. Some of you have those hearts. But every 20 years, we watch this cycle of oppression hit our communities because we refuse to come together and hold people accountable for our lives and for our generational wealth. I think that when people talk about, oh, the way to grow Chester is to bring in investors and let them spend money, that's stupid. I'm dead serious. That's stupid. Chester has enough entrepreneurs that you can invest in these entrepreneurs and make sure that the stores that they purchase, the storefronts that they get, that they're paying rent at, that you help them with the equipment so they can grow homegrown businesses here. What do you need investors for? You can build it yourself and train these kids how to run it. What do you need investors for? Invest in Chester. What do you need these folks who want to come in here and money grab off of you, who don't live here because you got rid of the residency requirement, that take your money back to Jersey, back to Norristown, back to Chichester, back over here in their communities where that tax money that they talk about isn't kept here. And many other townships, cities, municipalities, and boroughs. And I want to tell you guys something. If you're not listening, hear this one. Every solicitor is suspect. Every one of them. That's your problem, Chester. That's your problem, Upper Darby. Because see, your council is the legislator. They legislate the laws and everything like that. But these solicitors, they help craft the way the ordinances are. Some of them for safety, don't get me wrong. A safety ordinance, I don't have a problem with. But any of these ordinances and any of these changes that are made and is connected to the money, it ain't going to benefit you. It's not for you. It's not. I've been in Chester for over 30 years. Even when I was a young boy, I had people up here, family up here, ride up here. I rode through the craziness. I didn't escape a couple bullets and all that type stuff and everything. I escaped a couple scandals too. I'm not perfect. I'm a flawed man. I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. But when we sit back and we talk about these things, once again, folks, I just want to say to you, I'm on a different path myself, and so are a lot of other people who follow me. We're on this path of not accepting the BS no more. I want to say something as a son of a United States Army veteran. I want to say something as the commander of the Sons of the American Legion, Upper Darby Township. I want to say something as a person who has worked next to veterans and their families. I've watched them live. I've raised a couple grandkids and a nephew that are now serving. And I watched two die. My father and my brother, Brian Sharif Taylor. Shout out to my brother, Brian Sharif Taylor in heaven. Yesterday, oh, my glasses. Yesterday was actually when we met 6 years ago. If you don't know my brother, Brian Sharif Taylor, Sergeant Taylor is United States Army retired. This person came home after serving his country and decided to serve his country even more by setting up a veterans network that is now running, that there is a program running with every police. Oh, let me tell you about this. Every police department is now having veterans protocols when approaching veterans who may be in harm's way out in the street. It might be a situation or whatever. They're now utilizing the program that my brother Brian Sharif Taylor started to make sure that an officer who is a veteran, when they meet up with a veteran, that officer who is a veteran can come and talk to that person who is a veteran, and that they can communicate in a way. Because again, folks, if you don't have family that have served, if you don't understand the ways of a veteran, you're not going to be able to talk to a veteran a certain way. Shout out to my brother, Lamont Harris. You're not going to be able to talk to him a certain way. But another veteran, especially if they've been a combat veteran, especially if they're speaking to a former combat veteran, they're going to be able to relate and maybe bond in a certain way. And I find that job description now very important in our police departments, because we've just been arbitrarily just throwing veterans, out there with the regular citizens, not realizing that we put these men and women through all sorts of hell, mental trauma, physical trauma. We've separated them from their families. We've made them do things physically that are absolutely strange and impossible, and then we expect them to be normal. You don't know what that's like. I'm an Army brat. I know all about it. But yes, the police departments now are are making sure that this program is implemented to a way that helps the veterans. But this was a program that was absolutely started by my brother. This was a program that my brother, Brian Sharif Taylor, absolutely put out there. I know a lot of people are going to come back, well, Delaware County. My brother passed away. All of his notes, his laptop, all of that stuff was dumped. And it was dumped into a file. And trust me, I know my brother's fingerprints on the work that he did. There's a certain prose to the way that he wrote. So I know that you're not going to give him the credit for what he did for the Delaware County Veterans Memorial. I know you're not going to give him credit for what he did for the Delaware County's Veterans Association and bringing all of these people together to deal with veterans matters. But every time you put something out, I'm going to know it. I am. And I say this to the general public. I'm not hyping myself up. I'm telling you the truth. This veterans program, the movement to take care of veterans, did not come from your elected officials. They could care less. I promise you, they could care less. If a public official gave a damn about veterans and their families, do you know that by state law that you can actually put a line in for veterans associations when they have meetings, that your township, cities, and municipalities can pay for that? That you can create a line to uphold your veteran community? But I forgot, a lot of people hate this country. Y'all hate it. You rather say, just thank you for your service and step over top of them. But you won't pick up a weapon. You won't man a post. It's the truth. But then you're going to see a lot of different things coming out as far as veteran services locally. Now, what's happening nationally with your American Legions, with your VFWs, we realize that folks are getting younger. And our veterans need to have a home to come to have a place for their own to come to. And your neighborhood bar is not good for a veteran, especially when they suffer from post-traumatic stress. It's not good. It's not a good mix. If you have a veteran drinking heavily inside of your bar or establishment, that is a lit fuse. I'm just going to say it. I've seen some of them chill, but I've seen some of them not. They need a place to go. They need a place, to have that camaraderie where, people who are former military understands their terms and understands their conversations and can relate and bond just like anybody else. So support your American Legions, support your VFWs, support your veterans in your family, get to know them, ask them about their lives and some of the things that they're doing. All right, now let's move on to another quick subject. One of my favorites. We're going to talk about why we got all of these hating ass people on my boy Jalen Hurts and my Philadelphia Eagles. I'm really getting tired of certain people making posts and texts about how much we trash and how much Jalen got carried and how much, the tush push, y'all gay. When the Patriots was rattling off all of those wins, I ain't hear nobody saying nothing about that. You know what I mean? In Pittsburgh, they're still Curtin or whatever. You get me? People love Dan Marino to this day. He ain't never won a chip, but Dan Marino, the man. I like Dan Marino too. But why y'all hating on my boy Jalen? There's a couple of you on my feed that I'm talking to. Especially you Washington fans. Y'all know who you are. Do I need to call y'all out by name? No, I ain't going to do that. Because it'll be war. But, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to accept the fact that we are the champions for this year and that when the season starts in September, we no longer go from champions, but we go to repeat. We're going to be repeaters. You're just going to have to love it. You're going to love the first game of the season because it's about those Cowgirls. You know that they're going to get destroyed. We ain't worried about Debo. We ain't worried about CeeDee Lamb. We definitely ain't worried about that. Stop hating. But yeah, you guys got to just, you got to leave it alone. You got to understand that when you see greatness, the boy's great. He's just great. But then I look down my feed and I see all this hate. I see all this hate. Why are you going to hate on somebody that's an MVP? How are you going to hate on somebody that's a Super Bowl champion? How are you going to hate on somebody that has barely been in the league and already been to, 2 Super Bowls and 3 conference championships and has an MVP and all this other type of stuff? How can you be mad at that? You're supposed to congratulate that. You ain't supposed to hate. But yeah, I get it. No problem. I get it. But you're going to leave my man Jay Hurts alone. All right? All right, folks, look. I'm thanking you for this hour's worth of time that I've had with you today. Again, like I said, I had to come up with a different approach today because of a change in my segment. But I just want to leave you with a true story. And true story is this. So if you're a fan of baseball, you would know that yesterday, after so many years of being snubbed, after being like number 30 on the list of all-time greats, of still having records and still having that status as a premier baseball player, as a black man, finally, the Philadelphia Phillies legend, Dick Allen, was enshrined in Cooperstown. He is now a Hall of Famer. He was always a Hall of Famer, but now he is a Hall of Famer. If you don't understand the story of Dick Allen, it is a story of triumph, success, tragedy, racism, hurt, pain, redemption, records. When you want to talk about somebody that's been through hell and back, as a sports star, this man held records that are ungodly in baseball, but he had to go through the spitting. Remember the movie of the Jackie Robinson story? Remember that Phillies coach that was cussing out Jackie Robinson? That's the coach he had to play for. He had to play for that coach. See, this is what I try to say to you folks. Some of y'all really don't know what racism is. Some of y'all really don't know the experience of racism. See, if somebody can say something that's racist, ooh, that's racist. Everybody says something racist. We all make fun of somebody's culture. Everybody do. Listen, everybody do it. That's what comedians are for. They make fun of, you make fun of it. But not when it becomes to a point where you make it personal. That's when it becomes racism. Oh, just when somebody stereotypes me. Well, we stereotype everybody else too. When I say that when racism becomes personal, it becomes directed at you. Not just because of your color. It's your whole character. It's your whole representation. It's the fact that you stand in there. It's the fact that you have just made their whole world upset because you are in a place that they don't want you to be. So they're going to tell it to you and give it to you how they feel. That's what men like Jackie Robinson and Dick Allen went through. So when we talk about this racism, make sure you know what racism is. And I know people say, hey, well, Rich, what you know about racism? What you know about racism? I'm a deseg kid. I'm a desegregation kid. I was taken out of an all-black school where I had all-black teachers. My teachers in elementary school, John Worcester Elementary in Germantown, y'all. It's Worcester Charter School now, whatever it is. But John Worcester Elementary School, all my teachers were black, with the exception of my music teacher and my gym teacher. That's it. But all my teachers were black, women and men. And they taught say it proud, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And I saw all my heroes on the wall every day. Every classroom I walked in, I saw all my heroes. So that's where I was nurtured from the beginning. So that's what makes me different. See, when you go into your classrooms now, they don't show all your heroes. They don't put nothing up but rainbows and umbrellas. Walk into a classroom now. When you go to kindergarten, you see all of the beautiful things and the numbers and da-da-da-da-da. And now when you go into classrooms, every grade that your kid goes up, watch how drab it becomes. Watch how plain it becomes. Watch how boring it becomes. Because there's no inspiration of imagination when all you're trying to teach your children how to do is be controlled and have a job. So they cannot spur any type of independent thought to be creative when you take away the creative processes, the colors, and the different things that spur the imagination or the examples of greatness. Don't blame me. Go look at the stats. Go look at the stats. Go into the classrooms and see if I'm lying. But again, I digress. 75, 76, graduated from out of elementary school. Hey, I'm going to a brand new school, Austin Meade Middle School in the far northeast of Philly. 1977. Bro, if I didn't get chased home, I had to fight my way on the bus. I got called a nigga so much, I thought that was my name in the first year that I was in school. We was from North Philly, South Philly. We was from Germantown. We was from this. But guess what? After the first 2 weeks of going through that, it didn't matter where you were from. We was all from the same hood. And we all got, we got it. We got it like that. All of that little petty beef. See, I'm going to tell you what the difference is nowadays as opposed to our day. You guys don't have no struggle. And when I say you don't have no struggle, you have no reason to band together because you don't have the same struggle. See, these folks that are coming over and these folks from different cultures, they have a similar struggle. So they will band together in order to make everybody great for the most part. I know they got some sprinkles of people they don't mess with in their own culture. But 90% of them, oh yeah, whatever it is, that's what we're doing. We rather struggle alone. I got it. I got this. I could do it. Man, you can't do nothing by yourself. I didn't get to be on cmpradio.net because I'm a dynamic person. No, I got an exciting opportunity to help my brother. And I made myself a dynamic person.
Good trouble.
You know what I'm saying?
Good trouble,
absolutely. Absolutely. And I enjoy the time up here because as men that are both recently through trauma, these things help. These conversations help. I hear things from my brother when I'm in this booth and everything like that. And I'm like, wow, I gotta think. I gotta look something up. I'm intrigued by the challenge of people giving me something to think about. I'm intrigued by that. That lets me know that I gotta match a level. I'm like, oh, I gotta get on my game. Because I mean, like, even with this brother right here, when he's saying he's talking to me, I'm looking at it, he's engaging me because he likes the conversation. And listen, thank you. Because I love the conversation too. But that's what we gotta have. We gotta be honest with each other and put aside these emotions to get our problems fixed and deal with the real issues. Stop idol worshiping these politicians. Okay? Stop with the idolatry. You're worshiping them. Oh. These people was drinking a 40 with me back in the day. These people were smoking weed back in the day. These people were doing all types of stuff back in the day. I don't know about that, bro. Listen. I'll stay with a W. I won't go over C. No. Yeah. But I'm serious. I mean, like, I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just trying to get folks to really just examine yourselves. Think for yourself. Stop letting people lead you astray with your feeling. Stop saying, oh, well, you know, this is the way it's always been, so this is the way it's always going to be. No, the way it always is because nobody has tested to find if there's a different way. I can't follow stupidity. I'm sorry. I don't care. President, he's stupid. I can't follow him. These senators, I can't follow them. Look at them. Look how they acting. It's all high school. Look how they're acting. Do we act like they are acting? Oh, well, you know, they're in a position. No. The quietest people in the room get the most work done. The loudest person in the room is just the loudest person in the room. All these people that's be yelling and talking about fighting for your right, I'm fighting for your right. No, they're not. They're fighting for that attention. They want you to like them. They want you to understand their platform. How you understand somebody else's platform and you ain't got your own? Where's your family plan before you start riding with somebody else on their plan, thinking that they're going to bring you up to their plane? No, they're just going to throw bread at you and give you entertainment. That's their job. Go back and look at all the old Roman movies. Go look at your Roman Senate. How elite people made decisions and acted all types of foul and vile, whatever. Some of y'all never saw the movie Caligula. That's an old oldie but goodie. But I'm trying to tell you, the same attitudes from our past are the same attitudes today. And now we're more enlightened to it because guess what? We have enlightenment. We have enlightenment of self. We have enlightenment of our families. We have an enlightenment of our small communities, the people that we're close knit with. We agree to, understand certain things together. So why are we entertaining idiots? Why are we entertaining liars? Why are we entertaining people that are stealing your children's future and putting your grandmother in a nursing home? When you can explain that to me, because I'm going to tell you like this. In Asheville, North Carolina, they put my great-grandmother from off of her land in a nursing home, and we never got it back. Well, not yet, because that's coming. That's going to be another story in the next couple of weeks. You're going to find out about that. But that's what happens. They move you off of your space. Oh, we got something better for you. Don't worry about it. We're going to take care of you. Don't you like that? We're going to take care of you. Don't you like when a politician says, we're going to take care of you? That's the lie right there. As soon as a politician says, I'm going to take care of you, no. He going to get what he or she is going to get, and they going to get the stepping. And they're going to leave you holding an empty bag. No. No. I have hundreds of friends that right now I can go, hey, what did this government do to you when you went to them and asked them for help and you tried to help and then all of a sudden, what happened? I'm going to give you an example. And watch this. This is no bullshit. So there's an outreach at 69th Street with Recovery Without Barriers. And how that got started over 6 years ago was my friend Tina Hamilton, God rest her soul. Love you, Tina. My brother Brian Sharif Taylor, myself, and Paul Ann Sabatino decided that we were going to do something about the opiate crisis that was happening, that I was going into council meeting because I was up at K&A in 2015, 2016, and 2017, coming back to the suburbs and saying, y'all about to have a crisis. We don't know what you're talking about, man. That's over there. Da, da, da. No, you're about to have a real crisis. You're about to have a real crisis. And they didn't pay me no mind. I'm on public record for it too, so you ain't got to worry about, he's bullshit. I'm on public record already, speaking about the opioid crisis before it got here. And these two brave women said, you know what, Rich? We're listening. We hear you. We hear what you're saying. Let's get together. And this is 6 years ago yesterday. And we started down 69th Street. My brother Brian standing next to these beautiful women. Oh, by the way, they're white. 6 years. in a black community, by the way. I want to put that out there because I'm sick and tired of people calling certain people racist and you don't know what they do. These women are down 69th Street right now, taking care of the unhoused, the substance abuse, those who need a respite, those who need water. We got peaches, we got fruit, we got food for the people. That's what they do every Monday. But then they go into my council meetings in Upper Darby, and I've had council people call these women racists. Mm-hmm. Check the meetings. Called these women racists. I spoke to a couple brothers down here that I know. Hey, look here. What we doing over here ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on over there. We ain't here for you. We're going to do what we're going to do over here to save whatever people we can save. We understand what y'all got going over here. We're going to keep this like North and South. They agree. We agree. We never had an issue. We never had a shooting. We never had anybody put in harm's way. We've never had them have to worry about getting home. They've never been robbed. Their cars have never been vandalized. And this is before the police started helping them. This is before, they got help from other government agencies. We just took over a street corner and we did the right thing the right way. But let me tell you about your government. When your government don't like somebody, that would be me. When your government don't like this person's mouth, that would be me. When your government feels as though that you got a man talking too much and he exposing too much and he too close to the truth and he's saying things about his own wonders, they got to find a way to eliminate you. So what they did was they had a little private meeting and they said, we'll help you out. But we need Rich off the corner. Oh, this is a true story. This is a true story. I ain't going to say who the government official is. I'm just going to say he's running for a certain position. They said, get him off of the corner and we'll help you start a program. And they came down there, took pictures with him and everything. Came down there. They had to come to me. My people had to come to me and said, and so this is what let me tell you about my government. This is what they know about me. They know that despite my rugged interior, they know that despite, what I say, they know despite the fact of how loud I get, that I got a genuine love for people. They know that that's my kryptonite, and it is. I have a genuine love for people. So they know that if they can remove me from the people, they can do whatever they can do nefariously because they know that I know who they are. And they did that. You know where your government is? They ain't on 69th Street. They turned right around. Once they got rid of me, they said, mission accomplished. We got the loudmouth black man out the way. We got, his boy, he cool. We can work with you, Brian, because you quiet. You quiet, Brian. My brother didn't like y'all. My brother did not like y'all. But he had to get results that I couldn't get. So he played the game and we kept it rolling. But I already told him, they ain't going to give you nothing. But go right ahead. And sure enough, they left people that I love high and dry. And I was like, okay. Now, they only took me off the corner, but they didn't take me off the street. They only took me off the corner, but they didn't take me out of the house. I still kept things moving with our organizations. I still made sure that we all connected and interconnected and made sure that we knew what we were doing together no matter what. And we kept it moving despite the lies. And this is your county people. They know they got no love for me. I got no love for them. Okay, they know. This is not a secret. This is not. Oh, you hear Rich Blye talking about you? They know I don't like them, and I know they don't like me either. They ain't gonna pay this no mind. They're not gonna pay this no mind. But you know what they're gonna do for you? They're gonna continue to tell you lies. They're gonna continue to tell you don't listen to certain truths. They're gonna continue to tell you. They're gonna continue to tell you that the information that we provide is false. For 7 years, under the Constitution of the United States of America, myself and several others have been battling an evil form of government. It is our duty and it is our right to disagree with certain things that our government does. It is our duty and it is our right to speak up. You know, it's funny. When you're children, they want you to speak up, speak out, be a shining star, yay! But as soon as you get a little bit of gray, oh, go sit down, old head. Go sit down, man. You ain't got nothing to offer. And that's why you fail. See, I don't give up on you. You give up on me. That's what I learned. When I help, I try to help completely. It means that much to me, helping somebody else. It really does mean that much to me. But one of the things that I've learned, and this goes back to Mental Health Mondays, especially for Black men, one of the things that I've learned is that I have to love myself more than anybody else loves me. Now, that's not with a vanity, okay? I'm not vain, okay? I'm not vain. Listen, ain't nothing special about me, for real. Ain't nothing special about me. I just want to always put my best foot forward when I meet people. I always want to share, things that are worthwhile to you. I don't want to waste nobody's time. I don't want to stand in front of you and just yeah, and not offer any value. I'm just at an age where I know how to have fun. I know when to have fun. I love fun. I love having fun. I love partying. I love having a good time. My family, my aunt, my great aunt just turned 80 the other day. Had a great time with her, dancing and singing and being with family. I know how to do all of that. Time and place. But after the partying is done, after the L is gone, after all of that's done, we got to get back to business. We have to get back to business. People like me are going to one day fade away. And I know that you'll find things on the internet or whatever, but who's going to be your advocate locally? Who's going to be the advocate to teach you about how Chester really works? Who's going to go into these meetings to discern the information and bring it back to you? I can tell you this. That's what I do in Upper Darby. I go to the meetings. I discern the information. I don't say, oh, this is what I like about it. This is what I hate about it. No. I say, hey, this is A, B, and C. And that's what they put in front of you. Well, why are they doing that? You got to go talk to them. Well, why did you didn't ask them? Because it don't bother me, because it has nothing to do with me. I don't fight for the things that don't affect me, my family, and my people. I don't fight those fights that have no return on an investment. I don't fight petty fights based upon somebody's emotion or some girl or some dude or somebody did this, I don't do that. That's for weak people. I don't gossip. That's why ain't nobody calling my phone. Yeah. My phone don't ring. My phone don't ring. Because if you call me with gossip, I'm going to look at my phone and I'm going to hang up. I ain't even going to say bye. I don't do it. Gossiping is for women. I'm a man. I don't gossip. But I will speak truthfully about some facts. I will talk to you about what's really going on. And I will treat it with the respect of making sure that you understand that we're all part of this plan. Folks, we got 2 years. You got 2 years. You got 2 years to get your finances straight. You got 2 years to get your house in order. You got 2 years to make sure that whatever plans and goals that you have for your children, that they're meeting it. You got 2 years. It's all going to change. It's already changing. It just hasn't hit your block yet. 7 months into this presidency, and we see the ill effects of poor leadership by not keeping up with your promises. Hey guys, I'm independent. I hate ineffectiveness. I hate when people make promises that they're going to help the people and then don't do it. So I have the right to not like you, and I have the right to call you out based upon what you said as a public official, that you were going to take care of the people. And I have the right to call you a liar. And I have the right to question your ability to lead. I do. Leadership comes from saying and or doing what needs to be done, even if the opinion of it isn't popular. That's what true leadership is giving the people what they need to know, even if they're hurt by it, so that they don't get hurt by it by not knowing it. Leadership is sometimes leading from the front, sometimes leading from the back. Sometimes you have to bring up the rear. Sometimes you have to shepherd people up and move them up. But we have to start teaching leadership, accountability. These aren't just words. If you're around me and you present yourself to me, I'm going to take you as you are. But if you full of shit, I'm going to tell you full of shit. That's just how I am. I really don't have a filter, and I really don't have the feelings for it. I'm too old to play no games that everybody want to play with feelings. We need to get over that feeling stuff and get right to the heart of the matter, and that's rising and taking care of ourselves and moving together. All right, let me leave you with this thought. Next week, August the 2nd. Is that August the 2nd? Yeah. Next week, August the 2nd, I do believe I have a surprise guest. I got to confirm the surprise guest this time so that way I don't lose the viewership that I was supposed to have today. But I got another surprise guest coming for next week. I got to make sure before I let the cat out of the bag that I get this person in here solidly so that way you can enjoy the program. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in to the wonderful world of Rich Blye, cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester. Share this live one time. Share this live one time for the one time. Like, follow, subscribe to cmpradio.net on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, CMP Radio. Check out our website, www.cmpradio.foundation.org. Follow us on Instagram at CMP Radio. And that'll do it. See you on the flip side.
CMPradio.net, it's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester.